Hi guys, it's Chris Macaulay here. I want to talk about the mind that defines itself as a problem and then attempts to fix itself. And there are various reasons why this is so. A mind that attempts to define itself as a problem is essentially a mind that is producing unwanted content, you could say. It's unwanted thoughts, unwanted images, unwanted content. So, in order for this to be the case, then there must be a part of the mind that has awareness of whatever part is producing the unwanted thoughts, images, sounds, whatever it is. So there must be an aspect of self that has awareness of the mind, or some other part of the mind that has awareness of itself, or awareness of some other agent of the mind who's producing, who's deviating, who's producing unwanted content or images, or who's creating unuseful concepts, self-concepts. And so that's generally how these things manifest. They manifest automatically, and they manifest in relation to general attitudes or impressions, perceptions of what is going on outside yourself, which are then judged, ridiculed, and then they result in some sort of unwanted content. Or they may arise from a negative self-concept, something that you have learned from somebody else while you were growing up, or just messages that you've received while you were growing up that is somehow you've taken on board as a core belief that I am sort of unacceptable, that I'm not good enough, that there's something wrong with me. And the mind that believes that there's something wrong with itself will look for ways. It will seek out help. It will seek out help. And in many ways, this is a subtle confirmation of this core belief. Because if you believe there's something wrong with yourself, and that results in unwanted activity of the mind, and you have, more often than not, when this occurs, there's no direct realization of the sort of sequence of events that have led to this occurrence, this negative state. It is just generally almost accepted without question that I must get help, that I must look for ways to improve myself, I must look for ways to fix myself. So this can become like a lifelong search, and it's one of those things that it will continue to occur, and as long as I'm not saying that nothing good can ever come from the search, but if it's based on a flawed concept, if it's based on something that's not true, if it's based on somebody else's issue, somebody else's concept of you that you've somehow you've taken on board as a core belief, then really you are attempting to fix something that's not broken. It's like that is essentially what's occurring. So if you find yourself going round in circles, attempting to look for solutions to your problems that may be based on some sort of self-concept, negative self-concept, and you wonder why you're not getting anywhere, or you're not being fulfilled, or you're not having the life that you had desired, then it's most likely because you're trying to fix things that aren't broken. So really, I hope this enlightens you to the fact that, there might be nothing wrong in the first place, and all the seeking, all the therapy, all of everything that is done that arises from this negative self-concept is really in many ways it's going to yield very, very little results, because you're only reconfirming the notion that you are somehow flawed, that you need fixed, that you're broken, and that's essentially it. So really it's a matter of dropping what's not necessary, understanding the real intention behind your actions, and whether those intentions are based on I'm an alright person, that I'm coming from me as I am, and I'm letting myself be okay, I'm willing to look for ways to educate myself in things that interest me, things that I feel curious about, and that's fine. But I'm not going to be driven by this notion that I'm somehow flawed, that I need fixed, and that things aren't cool, with me as a human being. And one last thing that one thing I'll say is that when you attempt to fix something that's not broken, you can end up causing a whole lot of problems, and it can become somewhat pathological. You can create more problems than you originally started with, and it can involve doing things differently, and it can result in a whole load of judgments regarding other people's activity. And if the other person's activity is somehow related to the self-concept that's negative about you, then you will also judge the outer, in which case you will try to be different from those who are outside of you, and those who are actually maybe who initially had some sort of who were like you, but because that aspect of the self was judged, ridiculed, made to be unacceptable, then you will actually judge not only yourself but other people's activity as well. So really, it's about understanding. It's about developing your own understanding and come to the realization that you want to do things that that you naturally feel curious about and are going to bring you some sort of joy and happiness. And it can be difficult to know this, because if you spent years and years trying to do things to fix yourself and fix what's not broken, and you can end up in a bit of a mess, and you can end up with this sort of sense of not being clear about what it is that you want, or what's going to bring fulfillment to your life, or you can end up lost. And so I hope this message reaches you, and I hope it makes sense, and I hope you find a way to move forward with clarity and with a sense of being cool. So that's it, guys. That's what I wanted to say, and I wish you a good day. Cheers for listening.